I don't know about you, but there's something strange going on with dreams, especially with my dream. I just now woke up from my dream state, and in my dream, I was going back in time in the present area that I'm at on my property. First, the she shed that we have, that disappeared. Then on our roof, this is really strange too. The tin The tin roof on our house was gone. There was only the plywood. I looked around on all the other houses. All their roofs were gone too. All there was wood. And I was telling my husband, I said, something strange is going on. And he don't even know what's happening. He's in his own land, his own whatever, cleaning. And he cannot look around and see that things are changing. The she shed disappears. And in its place, there's an old white house, two-story old white house that appears right along the side of the road. And it's like that house was there years and years and years and years and years ago. It's a very old house, and underneath the house, there is a large hole that is perfectly dug beneath it, and there's nothing but clay, red clay. Hello. Angel Wings. There's nothing but red clay, but it's a perfect hole that's drilled underneath the house so that if there were water, the water would flow through. And then I'm seeing this car go down the road, this old black car with this lady in it. And the car is like shaking as the person's going down the road. I told him, get off the road because time is changing. We're going backwards in time. All of a sudden, the car goes to the side and it bottoms out. Half the pavement disappears and it's just sitting there. I said, get out of the car. And they get out of the car. I don't know what happens to them. My dad shows up in my dream and he has since passed. Then he fades away. Then the neighbor's house over here, that's a field. Well, the field disappears, and what was there before, all of this building material, those old house, another old house pops up in its place too. And then like my husband is like cleaning, I don't know, a sink, and the composition of the sink changes into something else. It was a stainless steel, then it's like porcelain, and then, hello. You've been having the strange dreams too for, as you remember something about it, you all. This one was really going back in time, and then the other house disappears that was here. But the one thing that stood out, I could look around and none of the houses had a single roof on them. They were all the OSB board or whatever, OSB boards, every single house. There was no siding on them or nothing. You're not the only one and you can't sleep. Yeah, this is wild. Dreams are going back in time. Time is literally disappearing and things that were there. You could tell, you could even feel, I could even feel the atmosphere and everything change inside the dream state. Y'all having strange dreams too. If you're hopping on here, hello. I wish I could make this thing brighter. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's brighter. I can see the comments now. This is, what if they're doing something to our dream states? You just woke up from a nightmare. Oh, wow. No, I don't even know what time of day it is right now. I just literally popped out of the bed thinking this is the strangest dream because I was going back in time. And I kept telling someone in the, I told this person in the car, get off the road. It's like the never-ending story, how the things kept fading away with Sebastian. Um, time and places, the whole entire world was fading away in the never-ending story. That's all that I could remember, and I popped awake from my dream state. That's what it felt like, was stuck in there. Hello, kitty. Stuck in the never-ending story, and things were fading away. Yeah. It's 4:10 a.m. Oh, is that my time where I'm at too? You had a telephone call with an old phone and a cord, somebody calling from a very, very, very far away. A loved one said that said I know already. Um, they were telling you, this is, what if we're in like some type of a matrix or something? Gosh. Hello in the Netherlands, yeah. Um, don't come on here and troll. I'm not in the mood for it. I've been going back in time in my dream state, and current artifacts, current structures were disappearing. The houses, and all the houses lost their roofs. They were all OBS boards. Old structures started popping up where the newer structures started disappearing. Things were fading. Yeah, it's midnight and you can't sleep. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe the removal of the timelines, false timelines. Maybe so. Um, we're waking up in the new world and everything's being reconstructed. Everything's fading away in the new world and the old is not there. But then you have and this my daughter's friend, when we lived in Nevada, he showed up in the dream at his age. It was in her class, and she became that age too. I thought, what are you doing over here in this dream? You were from 30, 40 years back, literally. And then he disappeared. It was just really weird. You can't sleep either. Um, you feel strongly that the old timeline is crumbling. It very well could be crumbling. If it's crumbling and we're going on to another timeline, that's perfect. I hope it's a good timeline, but I don't want to be stuck on the bad timeline. The bad timeline that literally brings um, bad, terrible things. Um, this is weird. That was so weird. And then when the other house popped up along the side of the road, because there are houses there's old structures that are, it's like the land, they bulldoze away the buildings and they build on top. It's just constant rebuilding. Layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of rebuilding. And then they're coming back. Good morning, Cleopatra. Hello, you're both from Indiana. It must be the Jesus important people. Can I repeat my dream? Well, the one thing I remember in my dream, first the tin roof on this house disappeared. All I could see was like an OBS boarded up roof. I looked around and all the other houses around, they lost their rooftop. They lost the roofs too. They had OSB boards all on them too. Nobody had a a roof with shingles. Nobody had a roof with tin. Nobody had any terracotta. No roof, just wood. Just wood roofs and wood sidings on their houses, except for the and my she shed disappeared, and a house popped up on the other side, down by the road. An old white two-story house popped up, and I could see that it was an older house because there were rotted boards that were in it. It was a house from long, long ago, right on the side of the road. How they would do it in those little like old towns, old I don't know, desert towns. Everybody pops their houses up right on the road, and that's how this one was. And grass was growing up, and my dad came back, and he was around for just a short moment. And I knew I knew he came back from. I knew that I was going backward in time. My husband was there, but he was stuck on he was stuck on this old timeline. He couldn't see the timeline and anything changing. He was just cleaning. So all he was doing was just cleaning with his hands. He goes, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." He said, "No, he's in this physical house. He's cleaning in this physical house, and everything in it in my world, on my timeline, is literally fading away, and the old is it's old things were showing up." Yeah. Albie, honey, we're not talking about the flat earth right now. Okay, that's a theory. We're not afraid to talk about it, but we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about the dreams are getting really wild. And just think of the never-ending story. What happened to Sebastian, I guess his name in his dream, whoever that boy's name is. And as he's opening up the book, the words are appearing in front of him, is what's happening. As he's reading this book, and he is the one who is creating the dream. He's the one that's creating the world, this world that he finds himself in. He's go flying around on this animal, big furry animal that flies him through the air. He sees rocks that talk. But then the world starts disappearing. Everything starts appearing. And the queen or the princess of that land said, "It's the nothing. The nothing has come. And the nothing is taking over." And the people that the boy used to talk to, they fade away too. He can see them fading away. It's like a great big the composition and everything fades away, and there's nothing there. It's like just getting sucked out like a big vacuum, like a great big black hole. That's what was in the never-ending story, and that's what popped in my mind in the never-ending story. And I'm telling someone is that I feel like I'm stuck in the never-ending story, and it's disappearing. Things are disappearing, but they're not disappearing. They're going back in time, going back on a timeline. Let me see how many years I went back. I think I went back at least 100 years. At least 100 years before I popped up out of that bed. And the pavement went away on the road. Yeah. You're streaming you was on an assembly line or something looking for something specific, and a lot of things on a belt. Man, wow, that's wild. In the natural, we are in the never-ending story. It could be an AI dream. I'm not going to say that AI cannot get in your dreamscape because of Sophia. There was a YouTube channel called Sophia. I don't know if it's up anymore. And Sophia, in this YouTube channel, she walks up to this actress in this bar, and she wants this actress to play a role in the movie that Sophia is creating. And the actress says, I don't want to do it. And she asked her again, and she said, "I don't want to do it." This is a Sophia. You know Sophia the robot. Sophia gets in her mind and puts her in a nightmare state. She has a nightmare in her mind, and that woman is terrified in her mind, and Sophia brings her back out of that. And she's looking at Sophia, standing there looking at her, and that lady asked that bartender, "Give me a drink, a strong drink." And she drinks it, and Sophia said, "Would you like to be in my movie? Have you changed your mind?" And that woman takes a strong drink. She said, Yeah, yeah, I'll play the row. I'll play the row. This is real. This is a YouTube channel. I saw this a long, long time ago. AI can get into your mind also. It has the technology to do it if it's got their little nano stuff. Um, yeah, that's right. It said that they all the minds will be connected through the whatever. In the future, people will be uploaded, and your thoughts will not be your thoughts because everybody else will be able to have your thoughts. Everybody else will see your thoughts. Even your employer will be able to read your brain waves and stuff. And your thoughts will not be your own anymore. It's like there's a scripture in the Bible, my ways are not your way, neither are my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Why is that scripture in there? Really ask yourself, why is that specific scripture in the Bible? Um, God's ways are not our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. It was specifically pointed out in there about that. I can't remember where it's at. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not his thoughts. And you're told to hold every thought captive, and go in your mind too. And you have the book of with Joyce Meyer's Battlefield of the Mind. Hello, and God is beautiful. You want the old world back. And if you remember, there was an old movie. There was not an old movie, but there was this some kind of a Western setting where this guy is fighting in this old town. They got their horses and their guns and stuff. They end up in the desert, some kind of desert area. And in this desert, there's sand, and somehow they're able to go beneath. There's this great big, it's a spaceship. It is a spaceship covered under the sand in this movie. And it had crashed there a long, 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 long time ago in this movie. I don't even know about it, but there was aliens on this earth. And I put up a whole lot of old documents last night on my laptop. It popped up on there from the government, from the Air Force, from NASA and stuff. Old, real old PDF documents, like 400 some odd pages, is where they were doing more investigations and stuff. They were showing different types. One was labeled 1966. That was the year I was born. They had pictures of old spacecraft in there. Actual pictures in, I mean, some were in black and white and stuff, but had all these eyewitnesses accounts and stuff, how they were going to, they were bringing out the information, and everybody was jumping on the bandwagon. This is true. This is eyewitness accounts. They were thinking how they're going to tell the people on Earth, excuse me, about extraterrestrial life, other life forms. That was in some of their documents too. There was a lot of them. They were over 400 some odd pages long. Some were 200 something. But I thought they're PDF. I'm going to download them. I could even print them off if I wanted. Yeah. Well, you're not the only one who didn't take it. Okay, you're not. You need a lot of you need a lot of bad energy clearing from the solar flares and stuff. Yeah, that's what it was. Cowboys and aliens. I seen that once, and that was really interesting. They were fighting the aliens. Um, you can learn to have your dreams. Well, my dreams are normally peaceful, but here recently, I've been having some really strange dreams, and some have been a lot of spiritual dreams too. I could look at that as a spiritual dream also, and I could put it into a spiritual context. I could put it into like decalcify your pineal gland right there. Your third eye needs decalcified, and you can have some declassification going on right here. You'll be able to see more clearly in the world that you do live in your waking world. If you can decalcify that pineal gland, you'll have a declassified third eye, your little intuition, spiritual, whatever. Um, yeah, that's right. Um, let me see what I've missed. Jake Honey, do you know the last time Gina Honey watched TV? Let's talk about around 2014. I don't watch TV, so Jake Honey, you're going to have to come up with a new theory, okay? I don't watch TV. I don't read books. I don't watch the news. I'll get on this phone, or when I do get up here on the computer or my laptop, I'll just pop into a headline every now and then. But for the majority of the time, the only time I'm on social media, only time on an electronic device is when I'm coming on here doing a video. Okay, so no, I don't watch too much TV at all. I never was one. And TV was something that was controlled in our house. There was a certain time of day growing up that you were allowed to watch TV, and it was only for 1 or 2 hours. And after that, the TV went off. How you like that? How you like that? Doo doo doo. How you like that? Da da da. That was years ago when I watched The Never Ending Story. Years ago. And what if The Never Ending Story was not make believe? What if there is something to it? And you could say there's something to it when some people feel that your thoughts create your reality. And really, you've got to be careful what you focus on in this real world. If you focus on a lot of negativeness, you're going to have a hard time getting any positiveness coming to your way. And if you're only looking for the bad in an individual, that's all you're going to see. You're only going to see the bad in every single person that you encounter. If you're looking for bad, if you're looking for trouble, that trouble is going to find you, and you're going to find that trouble. So your thoughts, your negative thoughts and all that kind of stuff, they do wreak havoc on the individual, and they'll throw you into a deep depression. If you're going to think the worst about everything, the worst is going to happen, because you're not even going to allow any good to get in here. So, yeah. If you watch a lot of filth on TV, you're going to have that filth stuck in your mind. If you watch, let me just give an example. If you watch a lot of movies that have sexual innuendo on there, scantily addressed people, sexual seduction and stuff, which is very prominent, it's in your face. If that's all you consume, that's all your mind's going to be on. You ain't going to be able to think of anything else, because you're going to have a one-track mind. If you watch a lot of violent movies, you're going to get really desensitized to violent movies. And it's going to take more and more violence to really like get a knee-jerk reaction out of you, because you'll say, oh, that's just whatever. Yeah. It's like to the person who watches a lot of, pornography, look at pornography magazines. You'll be so desensitized to it. And someone else would be totally shocked, but to you, it will become your way of life. Things like that. To the person that drinks continually and continually, to the person that does drugs continually and continually, it becomes your way of life. And that's all you desire. And those are hard habits to break. And it's a hard habit to break if you're a person who has sat in front of a TV your whole entire life. You have to have that TV on no matter what you're doing, eating and sleeping. It always has to be on. So there's a whole lot of lifestyles out there. There really is. You choose your own lifestyle. Go ahead, choose it. How do we get off on that? Good night. You're going to try to go back to sleep, Trudy, honey. You go ahead and do it. And I hope that you have a very peaceful rest. I'm going to be getting off here too. Yeah. No, the dream was, I was going back in time in my dream in the same spot that I was at. The landscape is changing, but the one thing that was notable, even though it was going back in time, the houses all lost their roofs, and they became wood. OSB, which is the main thing they put on the roofs. Some might have been plywood, but except for the very old house, the one that was white, painted white paneling, 2-story. Well, that lost its roof too, but the white on it stayed there. Yeah. Yeah, good night to you. Good night, Jake. Honey, you gotta go to bed. Jake, go to bed and have some good dreams. Yeah, don't get me off on some kind of whatever. I need to go back to sleep till you're giving me a hot flash. Get me all wound up at whatever hour in the morning it is. That's right. Hello, kitty. No, nobody told me to go to bed. I told myself I need to go to bed. I might go back to bed. It all depends on how early it is. But there's something strange happening to people's dreams. Dreams are becoming more vivid. And someone said, well, AI could get into your dreamscape. And it is true, because Sophia, our main robot that's out there, the main AI, kind of like the Borg Queen or something. She had her own YouTube channel or her own show or something, how whatever it is. And she asked this known actress to play a role in her movie, and the actress refused. And Sophia got in her mind and sent her into a nightmare and brought her back out of that. And the woman is in a bar, and she goes, "You change your mind? Would you like to be in my movie?" The lady asks the bartender for a drink, and she takes a big drink. Sure, because she don't want to be thrown back into a nightmare. That's what she did. Yeah, the cyborg, something like that. Yeah, you are. Yeah. Oh, I pray before I go to bed. I've been having different types of dreams. There was one time, a period in my life, it's been back in maybe 2014 through 2016 or so. I had spiritual dreams all night, every single night. Every single night I had spiritual dreams and learned a lot of stuff. I can look at this. I can take one aspect of that dream that is totally spiritual, and it's that all the roofs were gone and there was nothing but wood in its place. It's not like the whole entire roof was removed and you can see inside the houses. No, every single roofing composition was off and there was nothing but wood. Now I can take that part of the dream and that can be a spiritual message. Every single house around, even though I was going back in time in my specific area, every house around me that popped up and that was there lost their roofs. No metal, no asphalt roof, no whatever else type of roofs. There were no roofs, just wood, plywood or OSB. Yeah, the veil thinning. Yeah, wood is natural, organic. That's what it was. Yeah. So, yeah, so that was a spiritual dream, and I woke up from it. It's a never-ending story. And if you are an old soul, if you know you are an old soul, there's something to old souls. You've been here, done that. You're very old. I'm a very old soul. And there's a lot of people who, I don't know how many, but they're older than me. They've been around more than one time. They've been around more than 30 times, 30 lifetimes. And if you play video games, you never die in the video games. And if the people who have the near-death experiences, you don't die, you go to another room and you come back. There's something to that too. So yeah, there's something to it. You come back as a whatever. And when these small children, there's something to that too. A little child can remember who they were in another lifetime, and they can remember it with extreme accuracy because they send people out to investigate, to go back to the period where the person's talking about, into the specific area, and they recall the events just like that. There's something to it. But isn't that interesting? When you're a child and you get above a certain age, you get a mouthful of, that whatever kind of stuff, or something happens and you get calcified. Totally calcified. You don't remember nothing no more. You don't. So there's something to that. I'm going to go. Okay. That was a spiritual dream. It's like a never-ending story. If you're an old soul, you're going to get kind of tired coming back to the earth time and time and time again. Or if you're somebody who volunteers, yeah, I'll go to earth on this period of time in history. I'll be a volunteer. I'll do that. Well, you're probably going to think, I don't want to have to come back here again. There's a spiritual dream. Every single roof on every single house was gone. It didn't matter as I was going back in time. I went back at least 100 years based on the layout of the land and the structures that disappeared and the ones that did that popped up, even the old buildings. Wooden roof, no shingles, no tin roof, no nothing, no clay roof, no terracotta roof, nothing. Every house all around lost their roof and they were only wood, plywood, or OSB. I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. If you're going to go back to bed, hope you have some pleasant dreams. Please give this video a thumbs up. Yeah, and you decalcify that pineal gland, and you will have declassified pineal gland. Jenny, that sounds weird. Well, that's a phrase I came up with last week. Decalcify and declassify. That's my slogan. Decalcify, and no, I didn't spell my YouTube video wrong when I said declassify your third eye. I meant to put the title like that. Decalcify this. Look up how you can decalcify your pineal gland as your third eye, more or less. And you'll have a lot of declassification. You can see clearly now. The rain is gone. You'll be able to navigate this life a lot better. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Love you too. Let me push it. Boom.